I don't call it cyberbullying. It is menacing. When you want to talk about cyberbullying, think back a few months ago when it happened to me. I've never heard anyone threaten anyone with violence. However, they do say names. When you say a person's name, it's not hurting. It's not a threat. However, these are Dolton residents and these are Thornton Township residents. And it hurts me to report to see these people that I care about having this type of relationship that they have now when they had love relationships and when they fought together to get the old administration out. So I just want to give a little advice to those people. One-on-one meetings, work out your differences. Find out where to start from, put an end to it. Because it really hurts me, because these are people that I really, really love and care about. And it hurts me to see them go back and forth that way. And I hope no one gets upset with me for addressing this, but when I see people that I care about fighting each other like this, it hurts. And I'm pretty sure people that they know as well don't like that feeling either. Okay, so with that, I have another issue. Public Works. I still have tree branches in front of my house that are still falling from the tree. Streets have not been cleaned, swept, and I have made 3 phone calls and also left messages. And I have not had a return phone call, and no one has cleaned our streets. Debris from the park as well is on our streets. That's not the park district's fault. They're not responsible for cleaning our streets. So when people get out of their cars that have events at the park, they leave trash, bags of trash, cans, liquor bottles, cans, and everything on our block.
We reached 3 minutes, but I will ask if you can, you have a superintendent lunch right there. So
I spoke to you already.
I'm sorry?
I spoke to him already.
Okay, and Administrator Walls, they're right there, so I want to make sure, and I'll do follow-up as well.
I'm sorry.
I said I will do follow-up as well, but if you can, have a seat right there with them, and they'll make sure that we got you
I
taken care of.
honestly don't care to speak because I spoke. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like that. I only speak to a person once or twice. I spoke to him, I left him messages. I shouldn't have to continue to call.
Yes, ma'am.
I apologize.
Okay, thank you for your heartfelt comments as well.
Hello, Doug.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Congratulations, Doug, on making your meeting is almost born again. Congratulations. And I do want to tell you, Doug, that I firmly believe that you not only elected the right man, but you truly elected a good man.
Amen.
I really firmly believe that. And y'all already know, you don't see me no more, must not be no more problems. So congratulations, almost. And so what I wanted to come here today to say is that one of the things that I have found in hindsight is that even though everybody was pressing to get Tiffany out, I've come to realize that some of the things that we didn't want to hear her say, she actually was accurate in some of the assessments that she made. And I'm learning that now in hindsight. One of the things that she asserted is that Bert Olderson is a terrible attorney. And I want to be very clear here on the record as we will be systematically showing you how they are pretty much the worst formula for resolving issues, including those from the former administration. And so what I want to say is that as I sit here, and now everybody gets buddy, chum, I want to remind you that the fire that was in that fight came from some of the people who were being ignored or mishandled. And I would love if Bert Olderson would not put a stain on the record of this administration moving forward and have meaningful dialogue with LaVelle Redmond, Fania Dukes, and soon me as well, because I will be filing a lawsuit if you continue to disrespect people who are trying to have meaningful engagement and not sue the village of Dolton. And so it really pains me that now everybody is good, that we forgot about Felia Dukes and what she went through and how that stirred up the country to get behind y'all to get to where you were. And it is also disgusting that you done came out the rabbit hole. So I want to say to you, and I want to be very clear here, that it was not that you were not found to not be guilty or to not need to be charged, but there was insufficient evidence, as it often is, of sexual assault. And you didn't even have the courage to come up here and apologize to the community for everything that they experienced because you just wanted to move forward. Well, I want to say this. I am excited about the Pope. I'm excited about moving forward. But I am not going to forget about what I committed to. I said no residue. And so that means that if you cannot find the courage to make a statement, then you can thank your attorneys because Mr. Andrew Holmes, I will be back because I don't like rapists. Have a good day.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I have 2 words that can solve a lot of this cyberbullying stuff that I stay the hell away from myself. Those 2 words are keep scrolling. Nobody in here has to feed into that.
Right.
Nobody. You can only, if you keep feeding that beast, it's going to continue to grow. If you don't want to engage in that, you don't want to read about it, or you're sick of seeing it, don't respond, don't look at it, delete the people, and move on with your life. There's no way we should be arguing with each other electronically when we fought shoulder to shoulder, person to person. That makes no sense to me, but that's just my take on that. I do have a question. Are we going to be moving into Village Hall anytime, the old Village Hall anytime soon? I was just curious about the Village Hall situation of the old one. The one that we got locked out of?
Yes, we will be moving into, we're looking at September.
Okay, and I know you've heard this before, but I have to bring it up again. It might be better for us to have maybe a later village comment for the people, because I have a list of things I was looking at on the agenda, and I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. For example, old business, 10A, new business, 11F, 11G, 11I. All these are things that I don't know anything about. I can't speak for anyone else. But it would be nice if we had some idea of what these things are, so we can comment on them in an intelligent manner. I'm not trying to draw anything out or whatever, but it's kind of hard to really look at an agenda this complex and know nothing about it, and then it takes a whole month before we get a chance to talk about it. So I think it's kind of counterproductive. It's just something I throw out there, and hopefully, it's something we can consider. And other than that, moving forward, that's what we got to do. Absolutely take care of the people that haven't done what they're supposed to do, are still amongst us that have not lived up to what they should have. I'm not saying let them go, but you need to concentrate on moving forward, because all
Amen.
we're supposed to do is long. And we're going to have I don't have a whole lot of time, some of y'all young folks do, but I want to see some of this stuff before. I just went to a funeral today, so I said, damn, that dude is only 2 years older than I am. So before all that kind of stuff happens, let's move something forward. We got a long, complex agenda. If you look at it, if you haven't seen it, study it carefully. And if any of you all happen to know what some of this stuff is, I'd be glad to hear it. You all have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dan. I will comment to your point because I recognize the agenda. We are currently on our summer schedule, which is 1 meeting per month. As we go into September, Committee of the Whole will return. Right. With Committee of the Whole, it will be discussion only, and then those items will move forward. So we will have one more agenda where we go straight to vote just because of the summer schedule. And then the second meeting in September will begin Committee of the Whole.
Good evening, everybody. You're Daltonites. I do want to tell everybody that that name, Daltonites, came from the old mayor, Norman McKay, I think the 70s, right there. So everybody's Daltonite. I'm sorry I haven't been here to support you. My husband has health issues. But I want to congratulate the board and Dalton for this beautiful win.
Amen.
They say you can't fight City Hall. You guys fought City Hall and won.
Yes.
So that being said, I'm not promoting my group. I have a new private page, Daltonites past and present, so everybody wants to hear what's going on, that's why I'm here. And I want to share with you that your future hasn't been written. So make it a good one, because I might I might write that new history book. And on that note, I bought Jason a present.
Oh,
Jason, this is the only gavel you are allowed to use. And tell them they're audible.
Can I tell them I'm gonna educate them?
Greetings in the name of the Father and the Son, activist Cheryl Hill. I want to start with none but accolades. Brittany, you know I love you. Because when I called her, she came. Kings, I'm appreciating. Kenyatta, you know my high expectancies for you and you're going to rise to them. Tammy, I appreciate you. That's Saturday, I seen you. We're going to spend another day together and we're going to work it out. Holmes, I saw all them calls. I appreciate it from my heart. It made a big difference because all I'm asking is for a little call back and a little respect. You know, because I'm not going to stop doing what I've been doing really before I met all you all. And it's just always been an honor and very humbling to serve the residents and the voters, the taxpayers, and the homeowners of Dolton, Illinois. And I appreciate the support that you all have really given me over the years. And Jason, I want you to know that however y'all got it done, Ruckus will be the place that I be. Spending some of my quality time and yeah, I'm gonna take the time to say happy birthday to me, Swiss 65 this year. Thank y'all.
all right, Miss Hill.
Ms. Downs, okay, we may want to check. I think there were two gentlemen.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Christopher Williams, and I'm a business owner in Dolton, and I am a solar developer, and I would like to invite everybody to our event this weekend. It's called Taste of Solar. We would like to be on the agenda next board meeting, or the next meeting. We have an opportunity to share an opportunity with the village how we can save on our utility bill. Now, I've been working with a lot of individuals, part of Dolton, and we were looking at how we can save 50% on our utility usage just in the village of Dolton, for like the village itself and public facility. And every homeowner have an opportunity to save at least up to 20 to 25% on their utility bill. Now, in this building, next Friday, if you're a business owner, I'd like to invite you back for a roundtable conversation, because there's a lot of monies, $1 million of investments that's been in Illinois that a lot of us don't even know is there. So we're gonna expose where all the money is at, all the grants, fundings, opportunities. Next Friday here at this building. And next Saturday, I would love to see you at the Taste of Solar. We're right next to the Village Hall. We are a training vocational program. We teach electrical construction, electrical contractor. I'm a third generation electrician. Been doing this for over 30 years, been teaching solar for 15 years. I've trained more individuals in our state than any other organization. And we're right here in right here in Dolton. I want to invite everybody and encourage everybody to look at energy savings to try to reduce your bottom line. Thank you. I'm sorry. When and what time?
This Friday and Saturday, not next, this Friday.
This Friday.
Yes.
This Friday at 2 p.m. is Taste of Solar Saturday at 2 p.m. This Friday at 10 a.m. here.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mrs. Cook, and I'm a resident of Dolton, and I've been a resident for over 20 years. And I would like to congratulate the new administration on their win. But I have two issues that I would like to discuss today. One issue is the Dolton infrastructure. Our streets and roads, they are a mess. And it didn't get fixed under the old administration. They only got patched, which that stuff does not last. You know, it's a wear and tear on our cars. We need our streets fixed. You know, other communities have put money and stuff into their communities and had their streets really repaired. I mean, I'm not saying patched, really repaired, so they have some smooth surfaces. That's my one main issue that I do have with Dolton. We need that done. Our sewers need to be cleaned out or unstopped, so you know when we get a lot of rain, we won't have flooding. My other issue is with the abandoned houses here in the community. And some of the houses that are not abandoned, the ones where they have a lot of overgrowth in the back of the houses or in the front. Some of the abandoned houses, the owners don't even live here. But I'm urging you all to go after those owners. Make them accountable. We don't want to live here and look at that. I don't even know about everybody else, but you know, we want to have a nice, I think we want to have a nice community like other communities. So make them accountable, because if you have to pay for it to have it cleaned up, it's going to grow back. And we still have to keep calling you over and over again to come out and clean it up. Okay, that's the money you spending, but why don't you make the owner accountable and get the money back from them? And maybe they'll decide to sell the property or do something with it. And I'd like to thank Mr. Stanley Brown and Mr. Steve Edwards for coming out regarding the letter I did send to the mayor about a property here in Dolton. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have the privilege of being in Dolton since mostly everyone was elected here except for Stan Brown. And so I've been watching for a long time and seeing that my house is paid for and only pay property tax. I have an issue with what I'm paying for. I need to have a community where it's clean, where my children can go to school. At the vacant properties, they have grass that's over 12 feet for sure, 12 inches, I'm sorry. And so, are you gonna have someone start cutting the grass at the vacant properties? Especially on 151st and Irving, right on the corner. It's a stop work order, so therefore, that's the responsibility of the village of Dolton. That grass needs to be cut because our whole little nook cut our grass the day before the trash is picked up. And so it looks bad. I need that cut. And what is this grocery tax that you're implementing? You're starting your own tax. Is that correct in your house? Grocery stores?
The grocery tax is one the state of Illinois previously had incorporated in their budget. They have removed that from the state of Illinois' budget, and the municipalities have the option of picking that up.
And so how do you think that's going to impact the grocery retailers in the community, seeing that we don't have any choices as is?
It will have zero impact because it's currently something that's in effect with the previous state laws.
Mm-hmm.
So when it goes away, the municipality will assume responsibility instead of the state of Illinois.
Do they have a tax for retailers that have alcohol or slot machines? Can we go after those instead of these first?
Does the state have a tax for that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I suggest you do that as well. And so, I noticed that there's a lot of settlements on the list. Are you guys going to settle with Fania Dukes? Because at this point, our attorney feels for representation in that defense should be absolutely astronomical.
The goal is to settle every case. All cases are in discussion. The amount is always in question until we reach an agreement.
Because I'm very concerned about our attorney bills. Our attorney bills are expensive.
Me as well, I completely agree with you. And part of, as we move into our budget, that is a big portion of the budget as well. But I will ask that you also share those the vacant homes with our superintendents when you jump on that.
And since you're as concerned as me about lawsuits, I highly suggest that you speak with your officers about the unwarranted escort out of meetings. Thank you so much. And you guys have a good day.
You too.
Irving side, right on the corner.
My name is Wayman Washington. Good evening, the new mayor and all the board. I already know Mr. Holmes. We all know him from seeing him on TV and his activism, but I'm here. I am a longtime resident of Dolton. And we have had an issue with flooding many years, especially right there on Berg Drive. Okay, when it rains, it puddles up out there. It's like a pond, And the previous administration, and the previous administration was made aware of it. There wasn't a plan, there was an explanation that the county and the Army Corps of Engineers had to have some input or some solution as to how that would be relieved, but to this date, nothing has happened. It still puddles up over there, and the results of all that water coming out there is it breaks open the asphalt. We have potholes over there on Bird Drive specifically. I'm a landlord there. A lot of the landlords over there we talk. We are, even considering trying to put together some type of coalition so that our concerns could be brought forward and addressed, but we haven't got past just talking. But my reason for being here is we have potholes over there that are, 6, 8 inches deep. You ride through there and, you hit, it's almost like you might damage your vehicle. And I would say that even if there was an emergency such as fire or something like that over there, the fire truck couldn't even get down through there. They're gonna be bouncing around, probably break something. But my concern is the flooding. Is there a plan? I know previous administrations have already, they're aware of it, so I'm assuming that it would be somewhere in records in terms of, I think that's Public Works, where they do that at. And what's the plan? Is there a plan, especially regarding the flooding? It's no secret that we have flooding issues in Dolton, and it's been there for years. And what's the plan procedure?
We got the 3-minute mark.
Okay.
I will say we are in the phase of doing an overall assessment on what it will cost in order to come up with a comprehensive plan on the infrastructure. Our infrastructure, Superintendent Munch, how old would you say the infrastructure is?
Probably over 50 years.
Yeah, so we have an infrastructure that's over 50 years old, and we have to do an assessment of what that's gonna cost and how to break it down into phases so that we can gradually improve on the worst parts first and then work our way up to the parts that are holding a little bit better.
Just one response if I can. Knowing that we have this flooding problem, knowing how it affects the asphalt. So even if you don't have an assessment that you can, construct a plan on, the routine repair of those types of issues, like the potholes, is there something in place for that? Because it's been like that over there for, let's say, 2.5 years.
So what I'll ask is if you will, we have our administrator right here, if you can schedule with him and then we can further discuss. Okay, Administrator Walton. Okay. Thank you very much. I think that will conclude public comment at this time. We're going to move next into general announcements. Any announcements that the board may have at this time? Trustee Belcher.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I have several announcements. First off, tomorrow is National Night Out for Dolton. Tuesday, August 5th, 2025, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. National Night Out is a community event all over multiple cities every year. It's sponsored by the police department. It's for community engagement with our police department. So I would invite everyone to come out, meet the police officers. It is a community event. There'll be a band there, food, light refreshments, and a good time. So, and it's supposed to be nice tomorrow. So tomorrow, National Night Out, August 5th, 2025. Some of you may have a flyer I've been in contact with other surrounding cities, and the Islamic Relief has offered their services to our communities. So I passed out a flyer that says on August 12th, we will have free hot meals. It's at 14900 Greenwood, which is the old Melody Fitness Center. But this is just because it's one of the organizations that's in our community and want to support our endeavors. They will be passing out between 300 and 500 hot meals. It's a food truck that comes, get a ticket as one per person. It'll also be a couple of jumping houses out there for the children. But we're trying to make sure that we keep our community engaged. And if people are offering us resources, we want to be able to utilize those resources.
What time?
The time. What's on the flyer? I think it said, what is it?
There's no date or time on the flyer.
I'm sorry. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. That's August 12th. Oh, I like that. It's 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. on August 12th for the free food giveaway. And then the next thing is Ms. Angela Russell made mention in public comment. So we're working on a resource hub. So what we're trying to do is make sure that we have great partnership and resources for our community. So Envision Unlimited is our first resource for mental health that will be in our resource hub. So the resource hub will be the old water department. I know she said Village Hall and then it got kind of confused. So it's still at Village Hall address, but it's the old water department. They will be there. We will have scheduled times. We'll definitely have more information for those services. We are also in communication with Lahi, being able to be there, so we'll be able to assist with the residents, and then the expungement. And we're trying to get with the person that helps with the expungement. So it's just going to be a resource hub for our community to be able to get resources they're needed if they're not able to get them at other locations. So that's all I have right now, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Trustee. And if I may ask board's forgiveness on this, we do have a couple of presentations I want to do, and then we come back to public comment, if that's okay. So that way we can have the presenters and the guests taken care of. So with that, we're going to transition with Trustee Belcher, of course, Police and Fire Chair, been in assistance with the Police Department. We have 2 officers that will be getting sworn in today. Yeah, so I want to see if we can ask Commander Staples and officers to come forward for the swearing in.
I don't think it's on. There we go. Okay. So we have Alan Cook and Daryl Kimball, right? So raise your right hand. And when you say I, I want you each to say your names individually, and then you repeat what I say. Okay? Cool. Okay, so I haven't been appointed. You can say the same time. To the office of police officer in the village of Dolton, in the county of Cook, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of police officer in the village of Dolton to the best of my ability. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Leave that smile. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys. The family is going forward. This is the family. Oh, you good. Do your thing. Awesome. Awesome. It's the families. You good. It's okay.
Okay, one more time, we get a round of applause for our new officers in the village of Dolton. With that, we're gonna go back into general comments. General announcements. Any of the trustees have any announcements at this time? Trustee Tammy?
Is coming up Saturday, and that is August the 9th. Tea with the trustees right here, 147th Everest, at 9:30 a.m. So we still have, okay, tea with the trustees, I'm sorry. This Saturday, August the 9th at 9:30 a.m. And we expect everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Trustee Belcher, a follow-up announcement?
I'm sorry, I have one other announcement. The County Met Conservation Club is doing their, on Beachview, 14736 Beachview. They have this every year. They started that, I think, last year because they had stopped doing it for a while when COVID was in place. But it is the annual shrimp walk, which will be Friday, August 8th, and Saturday, August 9th. Friday is from 6 to 11, and Saturday is from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Any additional announcements at this time? Trustee Z? Greetings, everyone.
I want to thank everyone that came to my annual MS Walk this past month. It was a success. We raised money to help raise awareness and hopefully find a cure for multiple sclerosis, which is a debilitating disease. So I thank you for everyone who came out and supported me at my annual walk, which was my 4th annual one. I'm gonna do it again next year. So thank you. Also, I want to reiterate what Trustee Tammy Brown said. Tea with the Trustees is this Saturday. It's a good thing. It's a good way to come out and communicate with your elected officials. If you got a problem, sometimes you may not, you may get here, you may not get here, but you can at least come and talk to everybody. It's real chill setting, speak, but you can talk to us individually. So I want to impress upon people, come out to our team of trustees and talk to the mayor, trustees, the superintendent of public works, the fire, police department. Any questions you may have, you can ask freely. Not you can, but this is a formal setting without a team of trustees. You can definitely get questions, answers, and concerns addressed. So hopefully I'll see everybody Saturday. But again, thank you for my support of my MX1.
Where is it going?
It's gonna be here, 9:30 a.m. Saturday.
Okay. Any additional comments?
Yes.
Okay, trustee, Norwood?
Thank you, Mayor. Happy Monday, everyone.
Happy Monday.
I'd like to thank everyone who attended my very first mental health and job fair last month for the kids. So especially thank you the kids and dads, nonprofit organization, 5120 Entertainment, Pablo's and Thornridge Shopping Convenience for sponsoring this amazing event. Thank you to Dolton Police Department and Angela Russell, which is in earlier, with Envision Unlimited for providing mental resources. So every year I typically have a job fair for the youth, but this one is a little different because for the older ones, we want to start assisting them with their transition to careers or trades. So I just thank everyone for the support. I'd also like to thank Dolton Park District, one of our favorite park districts, for one of the best back-to-school events that we've had in years. We joined forces, and this is what we call Dolton United. So thank you, Dolton Park. Thank you.
Yes.
Any additional announcements? Okay, hearing none, we'll go into our village clerk's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm requesting the approval of the Board of Trustees for the minutes for July 7th, 2025, regular board meeting.
Is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes as read? Is there a second? Heard a motion by trustee Holmes, second by trustee Norwood. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll ask clerk for a roll call.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher. Aye. Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you very much, Board.
Clerk, did you have any announcements that you got?
Not at this time. I want to wait till
Gotcha.
complete information and things like that.
Okay, so next we're gonna move on. I know we have village engineers. If I may, I wanna move up the presentation for our insurance, because I think our insurance broker is present and he is on the timeline as well. So I'll ask Cliff Taylor. This is agenda item 11A. But we want to keep in line with time schedule. So I ask Cliff if you can come up and do your presentation on our insurance renewal that we'll be asking for, et cetera.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, trustees, Madam Clerk, attorney, department heads, valued residents of Dolton. We have come again across for our renewal, which renews tomorrow, August 5th, for our general liability insurance. To give a little bit of a backdrop, I believe that you all received the renewal in your packet. So just to give a little backdrop, over the last few years, it's been a very market in Cook County as a whole, not just with the village, with Cook County. And we've seen carriers coming out of the market, we've seen pricing pressure, we've seen increases in premium. And so to give a little bit of a backstory, last year we lost a carrier, which was one of our major carriers, and it covered a lot of our lines of insurance. So we had to go out there and get individual insurance for each line. And of course, getting coverage for each line means it's going to be more costly. This year, we were able to talk with another carrier that's kind of new to the market that's coming in. And we've been having extensive talks with them, and we got them to come in to take over the village of Dolton this year, and we're going to recommend them. It's going to get us back to the type of plan we had the year before now, get us back to where we were, it's moving us in a positive direction, and it's going to provide savings. So I know you have your packets. I kind of want to jump to the premium summary, which would have been on page 12. I'm sorry, page 11. And in that, if you look at your current, we went from having approximately $8 million in coverage limits to this year having roughly around 3 to 5 million or $1 million, depending on which line of coverage you had, which was a major drop. The carrier that we're going to have this year is giving us $5 million in limits, which is an increase. We do have options to get the $8 million on law enforcement and public officials if you choose to. And I just got those numbers late Friday, and I did share those as well this morning. So if you look at the premium summary, if you match what you had 2 years ago when you were with Safety National,
Current premium is around 2.1 million. With option 1, it will bring the premium down to 1.9. But there's also an option 2, which would increase your SIR, which is your self-insured retention, where it was at 350 2 years ago, increasing it to $500,000 to 500,000. But in doing that with option 2, it brings the premium down to 1.5 million. So we're talking over $600,000 savings to the village, which I know at this time you're looking at ways to cut costs in every area that you can. And it's been a tough 2 years all through the municipality. So to be able to bring some good news like this, it just feels really good for the village to get a type of savings like this. So I am recommending option 2. Again, it does increase your SIR a little bit, but as you all know, SIRs, you don't, when there's a claim, you don't just have to fork over that. It's over a period of time as the claims develop. Okay. So in saying that, I do recommend option 2, and if there's any questions, please ask.
Any questions from any board members? Okay, yeah, if none, I was gonna recommend option 2 as well. So I'll entertain a motion that we approve the coverage as identified.
I'll move to accept the bid. Second.
Okay, heard a motion by trustee Stan Brown, a second by trustee Holmes. Any further discussion at this time? Hearing none, clerk Heath, please call the roll.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Sam Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
I want to thank you, Cliff, for the presentation and of course the savings. We are greatly appreciative.
Hey, thank you. It's a pleasure partnering with you. I've been with you guys since 2013, and I've been with you through the good and the bad. So just appreciate the partnership, and I continue to look forward to working with you all.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to resume with our village engineer report. And we ask our engineer to step forward, please.
Good evening, everyone. I have an update on the 2025 street resurfacing project. It's a Rebuild Illinois funded project. We're going to have about 1.9 miles of road resurfaced that includes 12 different streets. The bid opening for this project is Tuesday, August 12th at 11 a.m. at Village Hall. Next, Cook County has this disaster recovery funding through the CDBG grant, and along with Ron and the village, you guys will be requesting funding to address residential and infrastructure flooding issues. So that could potentially address the Berg drive that was discussed earlier. And that's all for today.
All right, thank you, Ms. Brindley. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, thank you very much for your presentation. Moving on to our next item on the agenda. We'll go into our committee reports, starting with police and fire, followed by finance, both trustee Keanu Belcher.
Good evening again. First off, for police and fire, I'll read the report from the police department and then make a comment. Right now, for the month of July, there were a total of 32 parking tickets, 29 state tickets, 2,126 red light tickets issued, 2 felony arrests, 21 misdemeanor arrests, and 7 warrants. And then there were 2 burglaries, 23 motor thefts, and 27 theft. Although these numbers fluctuate, the police department has been doing an amazing job with keeping up with public safety in the community. As you guys see, we just swore in 2 more people. At this time right now, I believe we are at 9 that we've been able to hire since we've been re-elected. So we are diligently working to make sure that our police department is getting back to where it needs to be and providing public safety. And they're doing an amazing job. Please just bear with us because it will take time. Of course, our goal is to also hire more, but we have to make sure that we're doing it correctly. We have effectively started utilizing our police and fire commission. So they have been sworn in, they've had their first meeting, And please look on the website or Village Hall if you're going there, because that's where they post their meetings. We want to make sure that the community is engaged and involved in what's going on, because sometimes, even like that, there are questions, so you may be able to get your questions answered at those meetings if it's not held here. I don't have an update for the fire department. Is Deputy Chief Calhoun here? Do you have a report? You sent one? Oh, did you sent it to me? Oh, you sure? Oh, okay. Okay, well, okay, yes. All right, so there is two awards that the police department will be giving tonight for recognition awards. So Commander Staples and Officer
Easy. I didn't even say that loud. Oh my goodness.
Good evening. I'm here to present a life-saving award to Officer Gist and Officer Herrera. Just a little background. A life-saving award is an honor and an extraordinary act of courage and compassion. The life-saving award is not given lightly. It recognizes individuals who in a moment of crisis put fear to the side and act decisively to save another human life. Their actions reflect the highest values of bravery, selflessness, and humanity. It is our privilege to recognize these two officers who did not hesitate when every second counted. They both had quick thinking and a courageous response that could have made a difference between life and death. On June 20th, 2025, around 8:15 p.m., Officer Herrera observed a vehicle traveling at an extremely high rate of speed. Officer Herrera noticed the vehicle was recklessly weaving through traffic, and moments later, he witnessed and heard a significant explosion. He radioed for assistance and requested backup and went to the scene. He found a white Dodge Durango fully engulfed in flames. Two juveniles were ejected from the vehicle and were lying on the ground near the burning wreckage. Officer Gist and Officer Herrera advanced towards the burning vehicle. They both each grabbed one of the juveniles that were injured and dragged them to a safe distance. Their swift courage and actions prevented further injury or possible loss of life. Due to this, we are now presenting them with the life-saving awards and thank them for their extraordinary bravery and selfless actions on that day.
All right. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
The fire department report, so I'll be reading the report at the end of July 31st, 2025. As of July 31st, 2025, the Dolton Fire Department has responded to 3,605 calls for help and service. On average response time continues to remain strong. Yeah, my iPad just died. My iPad died, but I'm sorry, y'all, I gotta get it together. But the fire department has been doing a wonderful job also And that's my report for Police and Fire Committee. I will follow up with finance. With finance, I'll be having a finance meeting at the end of the month for our finance committee meeting. The staff, the village administrator, the accountant, they have been diligently working on our budget. So I am glad to say that we have a budget that we will be presenting to the community. It go for posting today. So it will be posted also, and anyone noticed on the agenda, we'll be approving the audit for 2022. Many people know that we were on the no pay from Susan Mendoza because we were 3 years behind on our fiscal audits. So we have been diligently working with the companies to make sure. So 2022 has been completed. Hopefully we'll get approval tonight, and then we will be working on 2023. So we are moving forward to make sure that we try to take our town back and get it in order.
Amen. Thank you.
Committee reports.
Thank you, Trustee Belcher. Next, we have Public Works Committee, which is Trustee Overstreet. Greetings, thank you, man.
I want to say, you know, as a resident, you never want to have to call the fire department, the police department. If you see majority of, we're going to call Public Works. You want to need the street done, you want to need the tree. Them are the major complaints that I've been seeing since I've been elected the last 3 months. The potholes, the trees, the branches. That's a heavy reality. And it's frustrating, it is, because we're behind on certain things. So when you ride through the village, you're like, oh my God, nobody seen this big pothole right here? And you gotta swerve. Sometimes I drive a little fast, but it is a reality, and we're very well aware of it. And we're doing our best job to improve on the communication as far as getting back to, if you report to somebody, you should get at least a call back when you can, or we can do it. I know this week, me and the superintendent are gonna go out tomorrow and just kind of ride through the village. Cause like I said, there's some bad streets out here, and we're very well aware of it. You see, we had the $868,000 to do some resurfacing this year. Some of these streets are definitely going to be resurfaced this year, which is a good thing. Also, I want to say that if you cut your trees down, you gotta cut, they want you to cut it in 4-foot sections.
Right.
And put it out there, and then the home disposal, somebody will pick it up. Because it seems like sometimes we'll just cut and just throw it out there, and the front loader or stuff like that will come through and get it, but it may not be in a timely manner. So if you can cut it in 4-foot sections, home disposal will come pick it up, so we'll have to be out there forever.
Do you have to tie it up?
Yes, that's what we're recommending, tie it up. And also, if you do have you can always reach out to my cell phone. You can call me, 708-968-0107. Please call me, text me. I'll respond to you. If I don't get to you right away, I will get to you. And sometimes people call me and I can go over to Public Works and say, look, can you put this on a list to get done? So please, I always tell people, you owe me one complaint. If I haven't seen you, you owe me one complaint. Please give me one.
Can you repeat that
so
number
Public
again?
Works is working. I do want to commend the guys over there because, like I said, they're the most called on department in the village from the residents. But like I said, I don't never want to have to call the police for nothing, or the fire department for nothing, because if it is, it's something alarming or something serious. But my streets, the trees, the potholes, I'm calling about that because I'm running into it. So be patient, we're getting to it, and we'll be around the village. Please call me if you got any complaints, but Public Works is working, and we're getting things done. We're slowly but surely getting to the problems and climbing out, digging out this hole of everybody, and we're getting to the point where we can get some things done. So thank you, that's in my report.
Thank you very much, Trustee Steve.
Trustee Steve, what is your number again?
708-968-0107. 708-968-0107.
Thank you.
Is that on your card?
It is on my card. They don't have it on the website. I gotta make sure it's on the
I
website.
called numerous times, you can call me back.
I disagree. I'll check this
Okay, I want to go off something that Trustee Steve said, because I'm a disagree, I get called. So he says Public Works is the most called on, and they do a great job. Well, But I notice when I go to the other committee chairs, they're gonna say, hey, Trustee Belcher, who's the most called on the department?
I'm not gonna comment, I plead the fifth.
No, I'm teasing. All departments have their fair share of heavy call volumes, and everybody responds as quickly and aggressively as they can. But I say, trustees say, well, we're the most called on the department. Then I get a phone call from another trustee saying, oh, no, all the calls are over here, spend the money there. So it's always a fun debate. Okay, next is housing and youth, trustee Brittany Nolan.
Thank you, Captain Mayor. And so first, I'd like to do a special thank you to every resident that attended our housing committee meeting last month. We discussed house rules and things that you all should know. Unfortunately, we had some issues with our audio, so we weren't able to share the video, but moving forward, our goal is to share the meetings, our committee meetings on our YouTube page, so you all can go there in the event that you do miss the meeting. Regarding the vacant homes, I know that that's a big concern for a lot of us residents. Right now, we're working on a housing plan, and we'll discuss it at our next committee meeting. So we'll move the committee meetings quarterly. Our first objective right now is for us to identify what we own and the houses that we don't own. We have to make sure that we can legally move forward in the process. So just as a realtor, what I learned is sometimes houses are vacant, and I get residents call and they'll say, that person, I haven't seen that person in years. But what happens is there's a process from the moment as people are their house is foreclosed on. So during that process, sometimes homeowners receive a letter and it says, hey, you have to leave soon. What they do is residents will instantly just move from the premises. But legally, the house is still owned through the bank, or there's some transition. So just so you all know, right now we're currently working on identifying what's what. That's been a big goal of ours, just to figure out how we can move forward. And then we also introduced our new home inspector, our new code enforcer, which is Brian Thigpen. A lot of residents know him from the past. He's been with us forever. And guys, I have great news. Thanks to our mayor and our lovely board, he is back. He's a big part of the council. He's a big part of the puzzle, and he's gonna play a big part of us getting our house in order. Okay, guys? So just so you all know, there is a lot of work being done behind the scenes. We are working. Doing general announcements, I forgot to do a special thank you to our mayor and Trustee Belcher. They've been working diligently with making sure that our police officers are hired and that we have more protection for the village. So I thank them for all of their hard work. We appreciate it as a town. And that's the end of it for housing for the mayor.
Okay, you want to follow up with youth?
Yes. So in regards to youth, this right here is my favorite part. I've been waiting all day for this moment. I stated before that for the last few years, our goal is to make sure that the youth knows that it takes a village and that we are behind them. So my first thank you is to one of the best mayors out in the Southland, right? He joined this organization, which is the Southland Regional Mayor Caucus. And they have a program where every year they choose recipients who's going to college, and they provide them with scholarships. So you have to apply, and one of the biggest parts to make sure that you qualify is that the mayor has to be a part of this organization. And luckily for us, we have a mayor who people like, and he's a part of it. So now we are bad guys, and because of it, we're able to do this very thing today. So I'm going to call two amazing women up. Our mayor said to me, he said, hey, I need you to find the youth, and I need you to make sure that they'll get the word out and let them know about this scholarship. We want to make sure that Dolton residents have the opportunity and are chosen. So of course, I got the word out, and two of our residents right here in our very own favorite town of Dolton have been selected. So I'm going to call them up today, and I'd like to just make sure that we spend this moment and we let them know how proud of them that we are. Miss Jacqueline Madeline. Okay guys, so if you see me walking with a partner, it's because this floor, they waxed this floor and I am clumsy, okay? So just bear with me, I'm coming over there.
I just love her. I thought she had on heels.
So Miss Jacqueline Ladder, if you have any family up here, you all can feel free to join her. Come join us. We're Dolton United, so we know behind every great individual are some great parents and a great support system.
All right.
Come on, family.
Don't
So
be
I'm going to
scared.
go ahead and read this before I send it to you to her, okay? So Miss Jacqueline Madeline, this recognition of outstanding academic excellence and being awarded a college scholarship from the Southland Regional Male Black Caucus. Your hard work, dedication, and commitment to education exemplifies true leadership and promise a bright future ahead. We are so proud of you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Go on, girl.
It's beautiful. Congratulations.
Congratulations, sweetheart.
Okay, so let me first announce that the village didn't pick the winners. The Southland Regional Mayor Black Caucus picked them themselves.
All right.
So let me first announce that. But this one is actually really special because we talk about staying in your hometown and just making a difference. So this young lady here, ironically, after she was chosen for the scholarship, when I looked down, I realized, I said, oh, I went to high school with her dad. So it's just funny how it works when we stay around town, right? But I would like to call up Miss Jayla White. Miss White, your family can come and join us outside. We are T-Bor, I'm sorry, this is for him and ourselves, you know. We both attended Thornridge. You have to have attended Thornridge to know what we are TR is all about, okay?
Are you representing now? Yeah. Amen.
First of all, congratulations, I love it.
Yes.
So presenting White in recognition of outstanding academic excellence, hard work, dedication, and commitment to education exemplify true leadership and a promise for a bright future.
All right. Yes.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Okay, guys. So you know what? Gotcha. So you know what they say, right? Just when you're about to give up, that's when all the magic happens.
Hey.
So our mayor just told me that he is going to personally match their scholarship.
Oh, hey, all right.
See, I knew this was gonna be an exciting day when I woke up this morning, I promise you. A lot of people may know, and I'm gonna end this and let our clerk follow up with the rest of our youth committee. But a lot of people don't know that growing up, my grandmother, she used to run an after-school program. And she just was always there to help. So it's important to me that my grandmother, she passed, when she rested in heaven. But it's important to me that she looks over and she knows that I am continuing on with the work that she started. So I am here to finish it. Again, I thank our mayor for being a part of such a great organization and allowing me to be a part of this, and the board to be a part of this amazing thing. So thank you all so much. Our clerk is going to follow up with the great things that we've been doing with the interns. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Trustee Norwood. This summer, we had the privilege of being able to get 10 interns to come into Village Hall, and we had them work in various departments within the village. These were some amazing 10 kids. They worked in the police department, shortly in the fire department, the water department, housing. They did a little bit with the village administrator, the chief of staff. They actually helped the clerk's office scanning records, but I want to acknowledge the deputy clerk, Harris Montgomery, because she ran the program. And she did an excellent job with these 10 young people. And at the end of the program, we were honored to have a luncheon for them. We provided them with certificates. The only part of it that was a little off is that these kids came from District 215. Moving forward, we want to get kids from Dolton. Dolton didn't have the program. We needed the kids, so we took them in. But I'm hoping moving forward that next year's program will consist of kids from District 205, which Trustee Norwood and I have already spoken about. So we'll have young people from this community, because it's a great program. They work 6 weeks. They get paid every 2 weeks. We don't pay them. It just comes from a special grant. And from the school district also contribute funds. And it was a great opportunity. It's something that they can actually put on their resumes as they go out for jobs to show that they have some experience. So I just wanted to let, and our media person is working on a clip that's going to be on our website. So once he posts it, feel free to go take a look at it because it was an amazing program this year. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we have our Planning and Zoning Commission, along with Human Relations and Ethics Committee, Trustee Tammy Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'll give an update for the planning and zoning. Our committee did meet. We discussed the businesses that we currently have here in Dolton and the businesses that we would like to see come here in Dolton. And some of the things that we discussed that we have in the pipeline. I've spoken to a couple of business owners and they're looking to bring the data center here. Players Park, which we're going to have at our August the 13th meeting. And also we have another individual, which is Kevin Bowens, is going to have someone to come out and speak to us about bringing a business here to Dolton as well. So Players Park is a sports technology and development park, and they're looking to come to 14331 University Park. So what we're going to do first is to have them to come out, discuss with the Planning and Zoning Committee, and then after that, they will come and speak to the board, and then after that, we will have them to do a presentation to the residents of Dolton. Also, we're in the process of working with Ardolph Glass Company, which is 130 days off of Cottage Grove. We know they're in the process, they are partially closed, but we are definitely working with them to actually get that property sold. There is a contract that's pending, but we did have 3 others come out and do that property that are interested in purchasing that property as well. And then 147th and Hart. I know that guy once spoke to us a little time ago regarding putting the construction of new homes, which we would say, I'm trying to think of what, with the, Yeah, the mixed income, I'm sorry, I got stuck for a minute, with the mixed income. So we are definitely going to reach back out to him and actually see what's going on with the, with that proposal that was being submitted for that. But again, our committee is asking everyone, what would you like to see come to Dolton? So those are one of the things, excuse me?
I said I had already told you.
Okay, well, some of the people already got ideas, but I'm asking our committee to also reach out to residents and to actually see what would you like to see come here in Dolton. I also spoke to someone who's helping us with the Veterans Memorial Park. I also spoke about veterans housing coming to Dolton as well. So our committee is in the process of working with each one of these individuals to actually see what we can actually bring here to Dolton. And we will keep the residents updated and posted as to our progress. So thank you for the zoning and planning committee. And for the human relations, I was talking to village administrator Charles Walls, and what we're going to put together is the 15 principles of business ethics. And we want to review that with all the employees that we have here in the village of Dolton. So we're in the process of doing that, and thankful to Charles Walls, as most of the positions that are being offered now, they're actually posted. We didn't have that before. We had openings before. No one never knew what the open positions are. So now those things are being posted on the website for everyone to see. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, residents.
All
Thank you
right.
very much, Trustee Shannon. Okay, next, we will move on to our corporate bills. As Trustee Belcher, you want to?
Yeah.
Corporate bills?
Yes, for the electronic warrant list, corporate payment register, $9,637.91. Water fund register, $549,561.89. Sewer fund registry, $1,144.65. Total corporate payments for electronic warrant list, $560,344.45.
Is there a motion to approve the bills as read?
Motion.
Motion, Trustee Norwood, second, Trustee Steve. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Clerk Key, please call the roll.
Trustee Sandy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stanbrough. Aye. Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Steve. Aye. Trustee Holmes. Aye. Motion passed.
Okay, anything more else?
For our AP warrant list, corporate payment registry, $751,305.71. Payroll for July 11, 2025, $457,307.38. Payroll for July 25th, 2025, $457,924.06. Melanie Fitness Center Registry, $1,244.32. Total corporate payments, $2,123,663.08.
Okay, is there, well, I have two, questions for entertaining a motion. Trustee, you wanted to amend one from last month's warrant list, to remove, and then there was an email that came from our business administrator. What's the time?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so, last month, I was not in the attendance, but there was a vendor on there that was an unapproved vendor. And, it managed to get on the warrant list again, but because we don't have a contract with them and it was an unapproved sale, I wanted to remove, you call me off guard. It's, it actually came Motorsport. Yeah, it was Motorsport that, was unapproved, purchased by Willis Lacey that I want to remove from last month's, warrant list.
Okay, and has the board also seen the additions as requested by our business administrator person?
Yeah. Our business administrator.
Okay, So if possible, I'll ask, if the board would entertain, the motion to read the bills as read, removing the motorsport as indicated.
Gina's Motorsport.
Gina's Motorsport
Yes.
indicated by trustee Belcher, also adding standard equipment repair, nickel pro equipment, C&M pipe water, Bonanza law equipment, traffic control signs, B Allen graphics. There's several on here, so there will be one more email. There should have been one on Friday that came in as well.
Yes,
There was some
it was Destiny Hall, Village of Dolton Settlement, Montgomery versus Village of Dolton Settlement. Collins versus Village of Dolton Settlement, Miriam J. Williams Consultant, Dwayne Woods MS Wealth Audio Services, Daniel Dawson, Warren Muhammad, Charles Taylor, St. Patrick's, and for the intern lunch, IPRF claims, Chester Hill for National Night Out, and Harvey King Watson for National Night Out.
Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna ask we entertain a motion to approve the bills with the additions read and the one deletion from last month. Is there a motion? So.
Second.
Hearing a motion, trustee Steve, second by trustee Norwood. For discussion, I wanna talk about the adjustments to this warrant list. I wanna thank the board for working with us. It's very important to us that we get a board packet to everybody, to allow the full weekend to review. And in that, I'll say, in that deadline, we also encountered some things that have come up at the last minute, which have required the time sensitivity needed to get these paid. Has us asking for an addition. We'll be working hard to make sure we get those a bit quicker.
Mayor, may I say something?
Yes, trustee Belcher.
Also, as I stated, we will have a finance meeting, but I am glad to know that we've gotten to the point where y'all remember when I used to be like them checks that's on that desk? Well, those checks are being settled for those items that have been approved. So we're working on the agent report, agent of all of those checks that we do owe, and we've been able to find some money from different places because we're getting our finances in order, and also because a lot of these people knew that they did not have valid contracts, even if they did perform some works, they've been able to negotiate and possibly get 30 cents off the dollar that we would have to pay. So we are doing as much as we can to negotiate and make sure that we try to get our finances in order.
That's wonderful.
Any further discussion at this time? Hearing none, clerk Key, please call roll.
Trustee Tanner Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes. Motion passed.
Okay, then we're going to old business 10A, discussion and action regarding the board of service. I'll ask if there a motion to proceed with the proposals as presented in our packet. Hearing a motion, trustee Holmes, second by trustee Steve. Open up trustee Brown, and then comment and discussion on this one.
No, sir, just asking for the board's approval to move forward with the hiring of the new, board of service. And I would like to say also that one of the vendors for the board of service is a 16-year Dolton resident. So, again, here it is, we're hiring the, business owners that reside in our community. And it means those tax dollars are coming back.
Wonderful blessing.
Thank you. Any further discussion, board members? Can you please call the roll?
Trustee Tanner Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes. Motion passed.
Okay, next we've already done item 11A, which is the renewal of liability insurance. We'll go to B, discussion and approval of the 2022 annual financial report. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Is there a second? Heard motion, trustee Belcher, second by trustee Norwood. Trustee Belcher, have any comment on it at this time?
for the 2022 audit that has been completed. So, with, of course, findings that, we have, we're moving forward to 2023. So this is just the approval for 2022 audit.
Yeah, I want to thank Trustee Belcher, of course, for her inclusion, Administrator Walls, our financial consultant, Lauren, who else am I missing on here? Yeah, so I want to make sure I give the thanks to all those who played a part in getting us a step closer in this progress, because it takes a village. So,
that's right.
Any other discussion at this time? Hearing none, Clerk Key, please call the roll.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, next we have item C, discussion and approval regarding the disposal of designated village items. As Administrator Walls, is there a motion to approve the designated items for disposal?
Motion. Second.
Hearing a motion, Trustee Belcher, second by Trustee Tammy Brown. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Clerk Key, please call the roll.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, next item D, we will be removing the proposal of new village hall hours and further discussion to come with the community on that item, but that will be pulled at this moment. Item E, will be going to discuss in executive session approval of termination of employee A. Item F, the discussion and approval of Comcast lease agreement. I'll ask for a motion to approve the Comcast lease as included in our packet.
I make a motion to approve the Comcast lease agreement.
Hearing about motion by Trustee Belcher, second by Trustee Stan Brown. Brief discussion, this is a lease agreement for the property on 140th and Cottage Road. It was entered into in 2016. And this will be an extension it comes with a cost of living increase onto the rent annually, and the proposal runs through 2040. Any further discussion at this time? Hearing none, Clerk Key, please call the roll.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, item G, discussion and approval of an ordinance 25-007 implementing a municipal grocery retailer's occupational tax and municipal grocery services occupational tax for the village of Dolton. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Belcher, second by Trustee Norwood. I will further discuss, it was mentioned some during public comment. There currently is a grocery tax that is in place by the state of Illinois. With the revised budget, that has gone away and is put it on the municipalities to decide if they want to keep that in place or to remove it. The deadline to do so is in October of this year. I anticipate that there will be many other municipalities that will similarly be passing this tax because of the revenue that the villages rely on from this tax. So there will be no net increase to the residents of Dolton or to those who are visiting our community. It will still remain flat. It's just a different entity that will be issuing the tax. Having said that, any discussion from the board? Hearing none, Clerk Key, I'll ask for a roll call.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, next up, we have a presentation from Safety Clean. I'll ask we have a representative from Safety Clean here. So if you come forward and greet the fantastic residents of the great village of Dolton.
Good evening.
Good
My
evening.
name is Scott Hargadon. I am a partner in the law firm of Meltzer, Fertil, and Stell in Chicago. And I'm here tonight representing Clean Harbors, Inc. and Safety Clean, because Clean Harbors is the parent company of Safety Clean that owns the plant. on 138th Street that we're here to talk about, and talk about trying to realize that plan's potential in a greater manner. I'm here tonight with Scott Amico, who is a regional vice president for Clean Harbors, and this plan is in his jurisdiction. And I thought probably the best thing to do would be to start to have Scott explain what they do with the plant, and then also talk about what the leadership of Clean Harbors, which is based in Boston, would like to do with the plant to sort of bring it a little more current from its current state.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Congratulations on the new administration. So my name is Scott Amico. I've been at Clean Harbors for 31 years. I've been working at this site for the last 20 years. But this site here, we're looking to expand. We have a growing business. We're looking to make this, we have 450 facilities in North America, over 100 plants that manage waste materials. This site does a lot of recycling in particular. We're looking to make this in what we would call, in grander terms, one of our mega plants, a major focus. We're trying to reinvest into the property. In the last year, we spent over $3 million into the property, and we'll continue to do that. And we're looking just to grow back into the business and devote more resources into the business to help us grow and hire more people that are local employees. Right now we have over 100 people that work at that site, over 3 shifts, 7 days a week. We want to continue to do that. So our expansion efforts are really just to allow us to minimize some of the truck traffic that we see around our facility, try to get it out of the way from the residents and get it into our facility rather than having some of the truck traffic back up on 138th Street and Catalpa and Center Avenue. We would like to be able to get all that truck traffic within our facility and not have it so much congestion for our residents and locally here. So that's generally speaking. Again, if you have questions about our company or our long-term vision, I'd be happy to answer those.
I'm also here with my colleague Brendan Penny, and we have a handout for you all because I'm going to explain what Clean Harbors would like to achieve here to help it with its plant expansion. So, not knowing exactly how familiar you are with this precise location in the village, the west side of the plant property, and the plant property is about 30 acres currently, is bordered by the right-of-way for a street called Center Avenue, which does not appear to have been used for many, many years. And in fact, the south end of Center Avenue, where it adjoins the plant, at some point in the last 30 years, the plant has more or less overtaken a portion of the Center Avenue right-of-way. And when you go further to the south, down Center Avenue, you come to Catalpa Lane, which is a short lane that goes to a street, I believe it's pronounced Kanawha, and then basically ends there. So it's that lane is now on the east side of it, all property owned by Safety Clean. And then the only part of Catalpa that we're looking at on the map that is not owned by Safety Clean is owned by the Park District, because there are some Park District lots that extend north from Catalpa west of Center Avenue right of way. So Just to give you an idea of what we're talking about, the right-of-way that if you take from the point of Catalpa and go east and then go north on Center Avenue to the south line of 138th Street, that right-of-way is approximately 1.82 acres. And why is that important? Well, the right-of-way is important for us because in addition to that right-of-way, we would like to try to acquire the lots that are on the west side of Center Avenue that are currently the lots that are owned by the village, which are north of 138th Place, which is the first street south of 138th. Those are owned by the village, and there is literally nothing on those lots, and they do not appear to have been, I mean, they're incredibly densely forested with all kinds of invasive species trees and some larger trees that probably predate those. It appears, at least on a couple of lots, there may be some foundations left over from homes that were there at some point in the distant past. And then south of 138th Street, the Park District owns, the village lots combined are less than an acre total. The Park District lots, which are south of 138th Place, that Clean Harbors would also like to acquire, they comprise about 1.32 acres. And at Mayor House, I know you participated in a video call that my team had with the Park District Board, and so you are at least, I think, passingly familiar with this, is that the idea from the Park District is they would like to sell those lots to my client in order to fund then the improvement of another park with baseball facilities. And so that gives you sort of what we're trying to do. So in total, what Clean Harbors would like to acquire is the 1.82 acres of the right-of-way that's currently not really used, the Park District lots, and then the village lots that are north of the Park District lots. So that's a total, we're going to call it roughly about 3.7 acres. So the question becomes, why do we want that land? What's the plan? As Scott described, there are traffic issues surrounding that area, both on 138th Street, where trucks come in and turn south to enter the plant, as well as on Catalpa, which is in effect the entry to the southwest portion of the plant, where because in effect what's happening is the barrels of the material are being loaded and unloaded onto and from trucks. If they can't do it fast enough, those trucks then queue up down those streets, you know, into and next to residential neighborhoods and a lot of traffic. So the idea for my client is that they would take the additional 3 acres to create additional truck parking such that instead of having trucks on the public rights of way, they would be all being able to be dealt with within the 4 corners of the plant property. And that would include truck parking as well as then additional lanes coming south, you know, from 138th Street where Center Avenue theoretically exists today.
Sounds right.
Okay.
It sounds like
you know, it's not a lot of land, but it's a complicated acquisition because, just as an example, we cannot acquire, or we wouldn't want to acquire the properties from the village or the Park District unless they, for example, were rezoned from their current designation. Actually, the right-of-way is not zoned at all. But the other properties have a residential designation. But we would need to have those then rezoned in order to match the zoning of the current plan so that they could be used for the same uses. And the only other the complication is, and then just as a footnote to this, which is the Park District under state law cannot sell properties of over 2 acres except through a referendum. Well, here, because it's less than 2 acres, they can sell a property provided that the circuit court approves the sale as being an adequate compensation for the district. And so in order to complete the whole deal, we would have to, in effect, I think the sequence, if that would be, I think logical, would be to get an agreement with the village on the right-of-way and the lots, if you wanted to sell the lots, and then I'll have that agreement then be contingent upon your board's processing a rezoning request from us, and then once the rezoning request, if it were granted, then we could proceed with the purchase.
Okay, so what I want to do, because I know we've had some discussions, and of course, I want to thank you, of course, for what you've been doing for the community and the interest in rebuilding. I know you've had discussions with administrators as well as our attorney, so I want to make sure we let the community know some additional opportunities or things, the partnerships we're working towards. I think we're in a good place as long as we come to an amicable solution, but I think everybody's willing to work together. So if we can, just continue to follow up the dialogue with the attorney as well as your team.
We could, and the last thing that I would add tonight is also to be honest, we did not know what the value of these properties is or could be, and so Clean Harbors hired the accounting firm of Cohn Resnick, their appraisal division, who does a lot of municipal appraisals. In fact, they're the lead appraisal group for Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, to appraise these properties. And so we are now in the process of finalizing those, and I will be happy to share those once we get the final copy, which could be as early as this week.
That'll be fantastic. Look forward to it. And then also for the community, we will be asking our media team to upload the presentations for review. All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us. We look forward to.
I'm sorry, if we may, Trustee Belcher, have a question.
Pending the request for rezoning and the purchase, whether the village and the park district, what is the anticipated time for this project?
Well, you hold some of the keys to that.
But what's your
Put it this way, I have been instructed by my client that if we could, we would love to try to get this done in calendar year 2025.
Wow.
And because once the property's there, and obviously, I mean, we're not going to just ask you to rezone it blindly. I mean, we have an engineering and planning firm on staff that has done some drawings, and largely it would create parking, but there also would be, I believe, 4 or 5 new loading docks built into an existing building down on the southwest corner. So we can provide that as we go along. I'm just looking for, I'll get the appraisals to you, and then I would be looking to discuss with your attorney how we can proceed together and look at these issues.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's give a round of applause, everybody.
Yeah.
Next up, we got item I, J, K, and L. Looks like the rest will be going into executive session. Oh, no, I'm so sorry, I and J. If I can, I'll ask Attorney McGrath to offer maybe just some updates on our litigation status, and we'll go to I and J.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it. A couple of items. First, since Kurt Olson was brought up earlier in the meeting, I would just like to note that he doesn't do any of the litigation for our office or for the village. So anything with litigation falls on me, so I'll give that report. But Kurt did give me some memos to pass out to the mayor, board, and the clerk. I think it was also emailed this in regards to revisions to the historical commission ordinance for the village. There's some changes that he's suggesting, and this goes towards the post-child home. I'll pass that out, and the clerk can also send it to you. And he strongly recommends that those revisions be made to that ordinance to move forward, and then you can get state and federal funding hopefully for that location and the other locations that you turn into a historical site or landmark. So Mayor, Board, and Clerk, and residents, because there were some comments about the litigation and what's going on here at the village, it's just coincidental. I told the mayor I'd like to give a brief report on the litigation and what's going on. Cliff Taylor was here earlier. He made mention of the new insurance policy. It's great that the village is going to save some money on the premiums and get a renewal. I think it's important for the residents to know what the village has gone through, given the past administration and the problems and difficulties because of the past administration, all the issues that everyone's fully aware of. But you might not be aware that the village had a very, very difficult time even getting insurance the last run around. I mean, it was shopped and shopped and shopped, and so then Mr. Taylor was able to get a policy, but the policy is very expensive. Really expensive for the amount of coverage that you got. And in practicing municipal law for over 20 years, they mandated something that I never heard of. They mandated that the former mayor was excluded from any coverage. So, you know, it's good. It's very unusual to be excluded from coverage, but then under the law, if in his lawsuits where she was named as a defendant or had some culpability in these lawsuits, you still have a duty to defend. So what that meant is that a number of cases, you would have 2, 3, sometimes 4 different law firms working on cases that just didn't make sense, or doesn't make sense. We ended up billing a lot of money and costing the village, the residents here, to defend a lot of these cases. So we've been working hard to try to get rid of a lot of these cases or get to resolve them, particularly the ones that have multiple different law firms defending the village. You have former mayor, you have former village officials. Just so you know, Mr. Taylor also mentioned the SIR, which is the self-insured retention amount. You guys voted for option 2 today. That is, you're going to have a savings of $400,000 for your premium, but the SIR went up to $500,000. So the retention is basically a deductible for the village. So if there's a lawsuit filed against the village has to pay all legal defense costs for the attorneys, and court reporting, court appearances, transcripts, anything that goes into defending a lawsuit, up to that $500,000. Previously it was $350,000. So that's a lot of money that has to come out of the village coffers on all these cases. And this retention amount isn't a one lump sum for the year, like an automobile deductible. It's on each case. So if you have a lot of cases that are filed against the village that may only have a value of total exposure of $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, that all has to come out of the village coffers because the deductible is just not met. So the only way to get true, proper, better insurance for the village is to cut down on the number of cases, so you don't have all this retention money being spilled out on all these cases. And insurance companies and their adjusters don't look at how the performance of the village over time. So it's going to take a few years, unfortunately, for them to run your loss run reports to show that the village of Dolton is not as big of a risk to insure, and then you're going to get better rates, and hopefully the retention amount goes down in time. Because even $350,000 was a lot per claim. Now it's going to be $500,000. So you know, a lot of municipalities, they have it's usually around $25,000, $30,000, $50,000. And the good thing about that is if you defend a case, and you know, if you want to vigorously defend a case, you get to that amount. After that, the insurance company covers for the defense cost and the settlement. So right now, you know, that's what's really bleeding the municipality, and that's why legal costs, not just at my firm, but at other firms, it's just costly. And the only way to resolve that is to get rid of cases. So that brings me to, you know, through the last 3.5, 4 years, we've heard a lot about the litigation, and I believe that we've represented to you and the officials here that there was about 50 to 60 cases pending. I went back and I worked on it with my secretary today, and as of 3 years ago, there was actually 81 cases that were pending here at the village of Dolton. 81 cases. When we took over, because the former law firm just withdrew because they weren't being paid, we were thrust to handle all these cases, and I can tell you that we didn't get a majority of the files from them. We had to recreate the files by going to the courthouse, pulling documents, calling the other the plaintiff's attorneys and asking for discovery and asking for reports and information. Not only is it embarrassing, but it's unprofessional. But we were able to put it together. So since when we took over all of those cases, I'm happy to report that we have resolved either through winning motions to dismiss, summary judgment, or settling. We have resolved 30 of those 81 cases.
Ooh. Yes.
Significant to get rid of that amount of cases. Currently, as we sit here today, there's 38 open cases. All those, a majority, I mean, a vast majority of those 30 cases that were resolved obviously dealt with the past administration, lawsuits that were filed against the past administration, things that did with employment violations of employees being fired or terminated and hiring the wrong people and not following policy and practice. A lot of those cases we resolved the best we could, the lowest amount that we could. But sometimes the village probably ended up paying a little bit more than what the case was worth. But again, when you think of the retention amount, and you're paying my law firm, and paying another law firm, and another law firm to go to court for statuses, to do depositions, it just doesn't make sense. So that's why we got rid of a lot of those cases and were able to settle them. Out of the current 38 cases, I broke it down. 24 of the 38 cases, again, relate directly to the past administration and the officials or department heads that the past administration put into place. So it's still hanging out there. We're working on getting those resolved. Some of them, when there's extremely high demands to settle, you know that the village just doesn't have the money to settle that. And we'd like to write checks to everybody, but you can't do that. And then certain cases have certain value, and other cases you're presented by demands from the plaintiff's attorneys that they're just completely outside the ballpark. And you know, they're trying to do something for their client, but our job is to defend the village. And I think we're doing a real good job. And it just kind of goes to some of the earlier comments during public comment. Again, Bert has nothing to do with any of these. That's me and my litigation team. and I'm open to talking to any of the elected officials about the cases. So we are handling 24 of the 38 remaining cases that are open. The other 14, or strike that. The other 14 cases are your run-of-the-mill typical cases that are filed against municipalities, when there's negligent cases, when somebody falls on a sidewalk and the crack causing the fall. There's some police cases, cases about benefits to different employees, just what you typically have in a municipality type of disputes. Out of those 29 cases, there's 9 that are being handled by other law firms, not my law firm. That is at the choice of the third-party administrator, and also in part because there is no insurance coverage for those cases because they directly pertain to the past mayor, the past officials. So that's kind of like the overview of the litigation. Again, going from 81 cases to currently 38 cases, 24 are dealing with the past administration. We'll get through it, but it's going to take a little bit of time. All right. I would like to note that since the new administration has come on board, we haven't been handed any new lawsuits. So
that's a blessing. Yes.
Well, I know it's early, and certainly there's going to be some lawsuits filed, but it's night and day as compared to the past administration, where there is almost a lawsuit a day that we get notice of and file, and they're not cheap. You have to defend them, you have to talk to witnesses, and you have to evaluate, you have to go to court. So kudos to the new administration. I'm not aware of anything that's going to be filed, so we're about 4 to 5 months. If it keeps going like that, your insurance premiums are going to go down over time, but the next year or two, it's going to be rough because of the retention amount, even though your premiums gone down. So as far as litigation, that's all I have. If anyone's got any questions.
Any questions from the board? Okay, hearing none, what I'm gonna do is we'll take a motion on items I and J, and then we'll do the mayor report, then we'll go into executive session.
Sorry, there's an attorney here who came a couple meetings ago, went into executive session. It's a matter that should be resolved and will be resolved. Unfortunately, it didn't make the agenda tonight. There was a consensus from executive session to resolve it. I know I was unaware, but the actual dollar amount was in the warrant list and was approved. The attorney sitting in the back, I told him before the meeting, you can't add on to the agenda once it's posted, otherwise it's a violation of the Open Meetings Act. To put the agenda and act together is a lot of work. We get a deadline from the clerk and the village administrator the Wednesday before the meeting. That's how much goes into it. I was able to slide in a couple items that are listed for settlements, which thankfully are on the agenda. So my apologies to counsel. He's got to go to court tomorrow, but I told him to tell the judge that it's going to be settled. It just didn't make the agenda. But the payment amounts approved, and so that's a good thing. So you can tell the judge that.
It's wonderful.
Thank you very much, Attorney Brad. We'll go to item I. I want to see if there is a motion to approve resolution 25-011, the sale of 14440 Greenwood Road telecommunication easement to Tower Point Acquisitions LLC for the purchase price of $228,000. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, heard the motion. Trustee Belcher, second. Trustee Stan Brown. Any discussion?
Mayor, if I may.
Absolutely.
This is another item that kind of shows how inept the prior administration was. Comcast, you see these cell towers all over different municipalities, and obviously there's a couple here in the village. Comcast has antennas on some of these cell towers, and they entered into an agreement with the village years ago to pay monthly rent, and it's a steady income stream, not a lot of money, but it builds up over time. That was not received by the village of Dolton through the past administration. Lo and behold, the current administration found out, looked into it, and Comcast agreed that the village of Dolton was owed $160,000, which is no small amount given, the current financial status of the village. Anywhere you can come up with any type of money is good. It's great, actually. But that was a monthly revenue that the village should have been getting. For whatever reason, it fell through. So we resolved that with Comcast maybe 2-3 months ago. I'm hoping that the money came in from Comcast, but it was $164,000. So that led to items I and J, which is a company that is buying the easement, the lease for the cell towers. They approached the village. They wanted to work with the village, and this is very good revenue that's going to go to the village based on these two items. And it also doesn't include in the motion, but there's also monthly revenue that the village will be receiving. I don't have it in front of me, but it's about $30,000 a year for each location, and that also gets increased with the cost of living and increases as time goes on. So, this is just more money that the village is entitled to, that you're going to be getting. So, again, kudos to the administration.
Kudos.
Mike, we got cold in here.
Any further discussion? Yes, it's trustee Belcher's cold. Discussion. I hope the next comment somebody stutters. Okay, hearing none, clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stanley Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, item J, motion to approve the resolution 25-012 for the sale of 401 East 144th Street telecommunication easement to Tower Point Acquisitions for the purchase price $336,000. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion trustee Belcher, second trustee Norwood. Any discussion?
I'm just going to disclose that they're going to take place within the next 30 days.
Closing to never mind. Closing that within the next 30 days. Thank you very much. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee Norwood. Aye. Trustee Stanley Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher. Aye. Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes. Motion passed.
Okay, items K, L, M, and N will go into executive session along with item D. I'm going to do some brief comments for the mayor's report, just so we can have that completed prior to the executive session. A few items that I heard throughout the meeting, or a few comments to make. The flooding of the streets, we just want the community to know that the infrastructure concerns are noted, and they have been noted. As a board member for 8 years, and all the board members up here, varying years, as well as most have over 10 years of history with the village. We know the ongoing troubles. We will be doing assessments and keep the community updated on the status. I will note that through some of the work the administrative team, as well as the support from the board, we do have a rebuilding Illinois funding of $868,000 that will go towards the repaving of Clark Street from 146th to 147th Street, on 149th Street from State Street to Wabash, 147th Street from Edbrook Avenue to Indiana, 141st Place, Indiana Avenue to Manor, Sheridan Avenue from King Drive to Oak Street, Ingle Avenue from King Drive to Irving Avenue from Sibley Boulevard to 152nd Street, Woodlawn Avenue, 152nd Street to Greenwood, Meadow Lane, 151st Street to 152nd, 151st Street from Meadow Lane to Dorchester, Sunset from 152nd Street to 154th, and Dante Avenue from 154th Street to 156th Street. The bids are being taken for that project. Bid opening is to be held on Tuesday, August 12th. So we are looking at 1.9 miles of roads to be repaved in the coming months.
Awesome.
Now, the obvious thing that comes right behind that, because I know some of it appears online. And I still encourage every resident to do so, because the immediate thing is, well, what about my block? And we still encourage anybody, we do have a running list of blocks that need to be repaired, because we know there are many more blocks that need to be taken care of. I encourage those to continue to inform us, though, that for those that are on the list, we will make sure that we acknowledge. For those that are not on the list, we will add them to the list along with a rating from 1 to 5 on need or priority. But in terms of the budget, Trustee Belcher mentioned that we have been working on the budget. The budget will be posted and made available. The budget draft or proposal will be made available tomorrow to the clerk's office as well as on our village website. We will be calling a public hearing as well to discuss line by line this budget throughout. It'll be approximately the 15th of this month. We have to solidify trustees' calendar to make sure that that will work. But we will be hosting the hearing alone. We will not be taking action that day. It will be strictly for discussion on it'll be strictly budget discussion, so we can get feedback from the community, the budget to be voted at our meeting in September. We are behind our timeline because the budget should have been in July 31st. It has been extremely important to myself and all trustees on this board that we go through this thoroughly, which has taken a little bit longer. And similarly, we have the opportunity or option to vote the budget the same day as our public hearing, but we also felt it important that residents get a chance to take a look at it, ask questions, and if adjustments need to be made, we have time to do so. So that will be the process on our budget, and so please be on the lookout for that on our website and available at Village Hall. Got the engineering report, talked about flooding the streets. The insurance renewal, I think, was a big deal. We were able to get increased coverage limits. Last year, we had no coverage in certain areas. Coverage, and our maxed out coverage amount was $3 million. This year, we've got all lines up to $5 million, and even got an offer for excess coverage of up to $3 million. Should the board allow to opt to do so, it will come at an additional cost. Right now, I don't think we're recommending that, but it's nice to know, or nice to be wanted. One thing that I heard, this will kind of be my closing point, as we started, or the talk with Dolton United, we want to make sure we do stay so. And there's been a lot of clash. I would say there's been some unity, there's been some clash, and I think that it's a natural thing. We mentioned cyberbullying and some of the comments, and you know, when we begin trying to work together, it's almost like that big blow-up fight that you may have with a spousal partner, and then you got to come back and kind of figure out who's going to say I'm sorry first. It's a very, very tough thing. It's going to take a lot of things again, and I know when people have been attacked, it's hard for them to rebound from that. So we always want to be mindful of that and really, really intentional thought, because I know the easiest thing, one of my mentors told me, say, you know, people will say, well, I'm mad, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. And that's our natural reaction, is to give a piece of our mind. But with all of the hardships in the world, all the bills we have to go through, the last thing you want to do, because you never know who's close to that breaking point. And that person at that breaking point, you want to give somebody a piece of your mind?
Come on now, tell it.
I'm trying to hold on, I'm trying to mind my peace.
Hello.
So what I really want to encourage us is that we really keep just a good spirit, a good energy, and work with those that you forgive quickly. I love that Trustee Stan Brown starts with the Lord's Prayer.
Amen.
The Lord's Prayer talks about forgiving those who trespass against us as we forgive or ask for forgiveness for our trespasses. So that's my closing thoughts. Anytime that somebody comes, I don't address many of those issues, or we don't like to get involved. But our role is to try to be peacemakers and ask all that are involved to please just take a deep moment, take a breath, and let's figure out how do we come back center. We are here to try to be the buffers for those who are willing. So having said that, that'll conclude our mayor's report, and I'll ask for a motion to go in executive session for the items listed. Is there a motion to move? motion, trustee Steve, second trustee Norwood. All this is into for executive session for discussion around disciplinary and litigation. All right, clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Tammy Brown.
Good.
Okay. Trustee Norwood. Aye. Trustee Smith. Trustee Belcher. Aye. Trustee Steve. Aye. Trustee Helms.
Aye.
All right, we will take action on the items listed